everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Andrea and today I have a brand new project. This is not a makeup panning project though. This is Project Get Your Craft On. It's a spin-off of a project that's been going on in Ravelry for 13 years now, I want to say. So what this is in the month of January, myself, Jaylon from J Loves Makeup, Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty, Danny from Danny's Makeup, and Shelly from Unapologetically Shelly will be starting a new crafting project every single day. Now for me, that's just knitting and crocheting. Jaylon has a spinning project and a loom weaving project. Kim is also doing cross stitch and diamond painting. Danny may be doing some card making, and Shelly, I believe, does make some kind of beauty products like lotions and serums and things like that, as well as knitting and crocheting smaller items like pot holders or coasters. This all came about because Jaylon was telling us about Cast On Mania, which is the project, or it's not necessarily a project. It was created by the Ravelry group Village Hopelessly Overcommitted, and every September they cast on a new project every single day. And Jaylon has done it twice in the past, and she wanted to do it again this year, but she wanted to do it in January for the new year, and she was telling us about it, and I thought it sounded really fun. And Kim has been getting more into knitting and crocheting, and Danny, I mean, they're all doing Project Yarn-a-thon with me as well, and we just all thought it sounded like a really good idea. So originally we were calling it Cast On Mania, but because Kim wanted to do other crafts besides just yarn crafts, we decided to change the name and make it our own a little bit for Project Get Your Craft On. Now, Jaylon did reach out to, I guess, the admin of the Ravelry group to kind of ask their blessing, make sure it was okay, since we are basically doing their project, just renaming it. And she found out they also don't just limit their project to yarn crafts. It can be anything, but we wanted to change the name to make it sound more inclusive for all crafting projects, not like it was just a yarn project. So we are doing our intro videos, posting them today, so that if anybody wants to join along with us, you have time to get your patterns, get your supplies, do gauge swatches if you want. I have done quite a few gauge swatches, not all gauge swatches, but enough. And that is the whole point, is to start 31 new projects in January. Now, there is room for a little leeway. If you have a really busy day and you just know you're not going to be able to cast on a project, you can double up. But the point is not to start 7 projects in one day and say, oh, I got 7 projects done. The point is to take a little bit of time every day and start something new. So I am going to be doing my best to start something new every day. Obviously, if I have to double up on a day because I just don't have time, I will. But I'm hoping that I'm not going to need to do that. There is no set update schedule. You can update monthly, quarterly, never. I think because I am doing Project Yarn-a-thon and I'm only putting knit and crochet projects in Get Your Craft On, that I don't know that I will be doing updates, because you will see my finished products when I do my Yarn-a-thon updates. But I may do a finale video next year focusing only on the patterns that I show you in this video, and see how many of them, like, see which ones I started and which ones I have finished. Hopefully, I mean, while I would love to finish 100%, that's not super realistic. My goal will be to finish 75%. So that equates out to about, what, like 24-ish, somewhere in the like 22 to 24-ish project range. So I'm hoping I can do it. The rest of my video is going to be overhead style, showing you the yarn that I picked out for the specific patterns, as well as having a picture of the finished product up on the screen to show what it will look like, and then show you what yarn I'm using. My ultimate goal is to have all of the patterns linked down below as well, and whether they're free or not. Most of them are, but a few of them are paid. And Daniel is very happy and starting to shriek, so I think that is my cue to wrap this intro up. But I hope I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. But if I did, please make sure to check out Kim and Jaylon and Danny and Shelly's videos, because if I miss something, chances are the rest of them covered it. So that is it for me right now, and then we're gonna get into my projects, and then I will see you in the next one. Okay, you're gonna hear the kids in the background because that's just the way things are in this house, and these projects are in no particular order, and I'm probably going to show you more than 31 because, as I said in my intro, I reserve the right to change what I want to work on throughout the month at any time. So first pattern is the Cakes 2 to Tango shawl. This is by Gwen Koch, K-O-K. This pattern is on Ravelry and it is free. And it's basically you just take two, like, either very complementary or color contrasting yarns that are in these like gradient cakes and work alternating rows. So I have, this is from the website Hobby. This is the brand Sultan and the yarn line is Cotton Kings. And for Hobby's yarns, Mommy, that they sell, gave Nathaniel a hug. That's very nice. They, on the labels, they just have numbers for the color, but on the website, most of them actually have color names. So this is color 51, which is Scapolite. And then this is one of the Hobby Black Friday yarns. This doesn't have a name, it's just color 9. So those two are going to be for that shawl. It's a crochet shawl. Next, this yarn is Knit Picks Preciosa Tonal in Duchess. I don't know if they have this line, this yarn line anymore. This is for a hat. It is the February hat by Kate Gagnon Osborne. This is a knit hat and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. So the color on camera, I feel like it's looking a little more cool toned than it is. This is a warmer toned purple, but I've had it forever, so it'll be nice to use it. The next potential pattern is called Jelm. It's a knit cowl, and the designer is Emlyn Knits. I got this pattern through the website Expression Fiber Arts. It was a free pattern. It's you use 2 different yarns, and it's a Fair Isle cowl. This is Madeline Tosh sock in the shade Wino Forever. I bought this because Jaylon showed us this and it was so beautiful. I had to have it. And then this is from Hank's Yarning Company. It is their soft sock. This is the shade Tropics. I thought they would complement each other very nicely. This is more of like a variegated like tonal yarn, and this is, I don't know that it's striping necessarily, but it's gonna have like little color changes throughout the sock, so I thought those would complement each other very nicely. And a fun fact about this yarn company, it is hand dyed in Chelsea, Michigan, which is about an hour and a half away from me. So I believe Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty told me about this company, and I have not used any of their stuff yet, but I have this and then another yarn from them in this project, so I'm excited to see how it works up and how it looks. Next, these 2 yarns are for the We Mesh Well Crochet Cardigan. This is a pattern that I found for free off of the Bernat Yarnspirations website. These are also yarns from Hobby. That's their butterfly line, and these are in the colorway number 12, which is Janetta Forrester. As you can see, this is more of like a summer cardigan, so hopefully I can have it done and be able to wear it for the summer. This yarn is for the Vermont Headband by Susie Howman. This is a free pattern off of Ravelry. It's a knit headband. This is also yarn from Hobby. It is their Colorina line, and this is in the shade Ara Feathers, A-R-A Feathers. This is for another knit hat. This is for the Rivulet hat by Pavlova Svetlana. It's also a free Ravelry download, you'll notice. Not all, but the majority of my patterns that I like to make are free because I am cheap. I will occasionally buy a pattern if I really, really like it, but I'm not consistent enough with knitting or crocheting to pay for things because then I never finish them and then I feel like I wasted my money. So that's just a little aside. But this is the Knit Picks Chroma Fingering in the shade Shortcake. And the reason why some of the yarns look like this is because I did my gauge swatches on these yarns already. So it's not like a perfect ball anymore, but I mean, you still get the idea of the colorway. Next, these yarns are a cotton yarn from Hobby. It's their Rainbow 8-4. And I bought these a long time ago to make a specific bag with, the Crochet 3D Leaf Bag. I don't really use bags like market bags and stuff, but I like to make bags out of this kind of thing and use them as project bags. So that's the plan for this. This is off of a website, Siren's Crochet, and this was also a free pattern. And again, I didn't write what colorway this is. It's color 100. I'll put the actual name, color name, if there is one, on the screen when I'm editing. But like I said, Hobby doesn't, they have names for their colorways, but they don't put them on the labels. They're on the website. Okay, this next batch of yarn is for the Cheer Up cardigan by Katie Banks. This is a pattern I got from a pattern book called the Color Block Collection. It's on Knit Picks. And I am doing it in the Chroma Fingering in black as like the main color. And then this is the Chroma Fingering in Sedona for the contrasting color. I've got 3 balls of this and 2 balls of this. So another thing you might notice, I'm going to have a lot of sweaters and cardigans because I've never knit one before and I love cardigans. And I want to really like push myself and knit sweaters like out of my comfort zone. So you're going to see probably several of those pop up in this video. This next set of yarn is for a blanket that I've been wanting to make for a long time. This is the Ubuntu blanket by, and I'm going to butcher this name, Deidre Uys, U-Y-S. This was a crochet along for the brand Sheepjes back in 2018, I believe. So this is not all of the yarn. I've got 2 skeins of each color, and then I think there's 6 or 8 of the cream. These are actually pretty similar to the colors that are on the pattern photos. Although this is obviously more Hobby rainbow cotton yarn, not the Sheepjes. Sheepjes? I do not know. Not Sheepjes. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it. But this is, I think, a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier to find. And yeah, I've got quite a large amount of this yarn, but it will still only make the small blanket. Because there's actually 3 sizes. The small size uses fingering weight, the medium size uses worsted weight, and the large size uses Aran weight. And I just prefer fingering weight stuff because you just get more yardage for the price. So that's just my personal preference. Again, we've got more Hobby yarn. This is their Amigo yarn. The label is in there when I wound it up. This is for a sweater. I mean, I have more yarn, but I can't fit it all. So these are the colors that I'm going to be working with. This is for the Diamond Puff sweater by Katarina Crochet, and it is a free pattern on the Hobby website. And I have the colors Gray Melange, Pool Green, and Petroleum Green. I'm sure you can't figure out why I wanted those 2 colors for this sweater. I should say the pattern calls for, I have 5 balls of the gray and then 2 each of the contrasting colors. The next pattern is for a pair of knit mittens. These are the Woodland mittens. There's a series of 12 different patterns. I am doing the October pattern because I was born in October. This is a pattern by Karen Daimler Lawrence. It is, again, a pattern from Knit Picks, and this is a paid pattern. So this is the colorway I'm doing for mine, and then obviously I have a black, but it just didn't fit, and everybody knows what the color black looks like. But the next pattern is called Boo. It is by Marsha Glassner. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. You can see from the photo, it's a little doily that has ghosts on it, and I have a ton of this cotton thread yarn from Aunt Lydia's Crochet, and I would like to use, I mean, I don't think it's going to use a ton, but I would like to use some, and I thought that was, I'm not really a doily person, but I love ghosts, and I thought it was really cute, so I was going to do that. This yarn is for another crochet bag that I'm going to use as a project bag. It's called the Adley Project Bag by Grace for the Frills. Again, a free pattern on Ravelry. And this is Knit Picks Dishy, and the colorway is Jewelry Box Multi, and I just think it's very pretty. I'm sure you can tell why I originally bought this yarn, even though I don't really work with cotton yarn much, so. But this kind of stuff is perfect for bags and baskets and things because it's much sturdier and holds structure better. So I am going to hopefully I'm just going to use both of these up and just make the bag as big as I can using these two skeins. I don't know how big that will be, but hopefully it will be usable. The last project in this batch of yarn I have pulled out is the Hue Shift Afghan. This is another pattern by Karen Daimler Lawrence from Knit Picks. It is a paid pattern, and there's several different colorways. I have I don't know if it's jewel or dark jewel version. It's hard to fit, I can't fit all the colors in, but we have these greens, and the blues, these like purpley colors, and then the red and the pink, and then there's just black to kind of do the border and seam them all together. So that is it for this box of yarn. I'm going to take a little break, refill the box with new yarn, and then continue showing the projects that I am potentially going to be working on in the month of January. The next project is a scarf called the Enchanting Scarf by Marika Lundgren. This is also a free Ravelry pattern. And I have this Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud Fingering. This is the colorway Beth. It's hard to tell looking through my viewfinder, but it's turning up a little like bluer, I feel like, on camera. This is actually a very cool gray toned purple. This next yarn is something I don't have a specific project for. I'm just going to do a very simple either crochet or knit blanket out of it. I haven't decided yet, but Nathaniel's teacher is having a baby, I believe in March or April, so I wanted to make her a baby blanket. And I was at Joann's and I saw this Bernat baby velvet yarn, and it is so soft. It feels so nice. So this is the color Emerald and Misty Gray. I think she's having a boy. I'm not sure, but I figured these two colors are very gender neutral colors anyway. So whatever I decide to do with these, probably just like a simple striping blanket or something like that. Probably knit so I can get like the biggest blanket out of what I've got. But it's so soft. These next two yarns are for a sweater that I'm going to make for Madeline. This is the Hawthorne Fingering Weight yarn from Knit Picks. This is in the Sweet Home tonal hand painted, and this is the tie-dye speckle. The pattern is Mini Ember, and I forgot to write down the designer's name, but I will put it up on the screen. This is a paid pattern from Knit Picks. I also have bought the pattern for the adult size, and I have yarn for that, but I'm doing so many cardigans and sweaters in this project, I didn't want to do another big one, so that's why I'm going to do one for Madeline in this pattern, and then I'll do the one for me at a later time and date. The next yarn I have is from Hobby. It's their Black Friday Acrylic XL. Again, I have to look up the color. This is the color 17. This is for the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. These came in packs of 6. So, I mean, I'm just going to show you the one because they all look the same. And I actually have 2 packs because I'm not sure how much yardage I was going to need. But I don't have any, like, I like dark reds like this. I don't have anything this color in my wardrobe, so I figured knit a cardigan with it. This next yarn I've already taken out of the project bag, but I just wanted to show you the project bag because it is amazing. It's a Sandlot themed project bag. You're killing me, Smalls. This project bag is also from Hank's Yarning Company. Look, it even has a little high top charm on it. It's so freaking cute. But this is the yarn that is in that bag. This is also from Hobby. This is the Dolce Cashmere yarn. And this is in the colorway Pastel Rainbow. Hopefully you can see the Pastel Rainbow. And I am using this to knit the Lisbeth shawl. It says shawl, but it's more of like a very wide scarf or stole type of a project. It's a rectangle, not a triangle. This, I'm going to butcher this name, Christy Rogne, R-O-G-N-E. This is also a free Knit Picks pattern. This next batch of yarn is for the Plain and Simple Pullover by Vera Valimaki. It's also a free Ravelry download. And I didn't quite have the yardage I needed in this yarn. This is the Hobby Twister Glitter in Yellow Snapdragon. So I had this comfy fingering weight from Knit Picks in the shade Honey, which I figured if I need extra yardage for like the sleeves or the kind of cowl-y neckline, that this would be what I would use. But I'm going to start with this and see how far I can get before I have to pull these in. And that's another sweater pattern that has been in my Ravelry like favorites for years and years and years, and I just never got the guts to do it. So this project is the perfect time to get it started. These next 2 yarns are for the pattern Witch Cat's Hat by Christine de Savoy. It's another free Ravelry pattern. And I decided, I don't know if I will be able to get it finished in time for my sister's birthday in the middle of January. But she loves cats. What, bud? Hi, what do you want? Hold on. But she loves cats and she loves rainbow colored things. So I figured I would try to make it in time for her birthday present. This is Knit Picks Fleecy in Rainbow. I don't know if they have this specific colorway anymore. Nathaniel, you need a new sock, sir. That's a giant hole. You don't even really have a sock anymore. You just have a foot warmer. They're constantly coming out with new colorways and retiring old colorways, so I don't know if this is one that they have anymore, but they definitely have this yarn. This yarn, I believe, is completely discontinued. This is the Stroll Glimmer in black, and hopefully you can see like the silver sparkle running throughout it. So that is for the Witch Cat's Hat. These next yarns are for the Peacock's Pride Shawl by Reina Cruz. This is a paid pattern on Ravelry, but it came out to less than $1, so I was okay with buying it. This is a brioche knit shawl, and I've never done brioche knitting before. I had a little trouble when I was doing my gauge swatch, but I think I figured it out, so I'm excited to see like how it works up. So for the like kind of base color, I guess you would call it, this is Knit Picks Comfy Fingering in Cream. And then for, you know, the peacock feather pattern colors, this is the Hobby Universe yarn in Super Cluster. And obviously, hopefully you can see it's a glittery yarn, very peacocky colors in here. So I'm excited to try my hand at brioche because it's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna look so pretty when it's done. This yarn is again from Hobby. It's their Acacia line in the print version, and this is color 4. These don't have color names, only color numbers. And I'm going to use this for a free pattern from the Hobby website, the Crochet Makeup Bag. Again, I'm not really going to use it as a makeup bag because I don't, one, need any more makeup bags, and two, I don't really use makeup bags. This is going to be hopefully big enough to be a small project bag, and it should hopefully work up fairly quickly. I'm anticipating this is going to be one of the projects that I actually finish within the month, but again, we will see because nothing is guaranteed. Next, I have this yarn from Bad Sheep Yarns. It's another indie yarn dyer that I actually found through Facebook, and I've ordered from her 4 or 5 times after discovering her within the past month and a half. So this is for the Flaxlight sweater pattern by Tin Can Knits. Again, a free Ravelry pattern. A lot of the Tin Can Knits patterns are paid, but they have a series of like 8, I think, patterns that are their starting knitter series that they offer for free. So I'm actually working on the sock pattern right now, and then I have previously saw the Harvest cardigan pattern, and then this is the sweater pattern in that collection. And I don't believe I said it. This is the colorway Fox. It's just beautiful. It's copper and orangey brown. There's blue in there, some like cooler, a little bit cooler tones mixed in. I have 4 of these, and hopefully that will be enough because I've never made a sweater before. It's kind of hard to gauge how much I'm going to need, but I think that should be good. This next yarn is for the Dame de Fer cardigan by Marie Amélie Designs. This is a free Ravelry pattern. This is yarn I've had for a very long time. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering in Deep Waters Tonal. I'm not sure if they have this colorway still or not, but I originally bought this for a shawl, a very large knit shawl pattern, and then I proceeded to do nothing, and I found this pattern when I was randomly browsing Ravelry one day, and I thought this yarn would look so pretty, and I love this color. Again, I don't have any cardigan with this color, and hopefully you can see the variegations. There's lots of blues, but there's some dark purple in there as well, and it's just beautiful. The next 2 yarn lots I'm going to show are both for the same pattern, but different projects. So this is for the Granny Stripe blanket by Pearl Soho, and I got 2 different colorways. I mean, I picked out the colors, but I got 2 different colorways. This is the colorway that I wanted. I picked out for me, so it's, I mean, they're not arranged in the way that I'm going to have them in the blanket, but it's going to go from this red to here, to here, to here, to here, and then this is going to be the contrasting stripe. And then I will show you the second colorway that Madeline picked out for her blanket. But these are going to count, because they're 2 separate blankets, they're counting as 2 separate projects, even though it's the same pattern. And this is the Cascade Heritage yarn. I'm not sure what all of the colors are. I don't remember off the top of my head. And I don't think the colors are on the labels. I'm gonna regret doing that. Yeah, they just have, again, these are kind of like the hobbies where they have a color number, and then on the website that I bought these from, which is, I think you can buy Cascade yarns in a variety of places, but I got these off of the Eat Sleep Knit website. That was actually a website that was recommended by Jaylon. Her friend runs it, and I've ordered from them twice so far, and the shipping time has been extremely fast, and they have like a great little rewards program also called Yarnathon. So I did not know about that when I named my project Yarnathon, but you know, it's not a copyright or anything, so, but I just thought that was kind of funny. And this yarn is really soft, and I can see myself purchasing from them a lot in the future. This is the next batch of yarn for the same blanket, but these are the colors that Madeline picked out. Again, this is the Cascade Heritage yarn. She went for more of a pastel rainbow vibe. And I'm picking out, I mean, I wound these all up quite a while ago, And I have kids and cats, so there's like little pieces that are stuck to all of the yarn that I'm sure you've noticed throughout this video, but there's only so much I can do. Oh, hi. Can you go away, please? Thank you. And then the last pattern in this batch is a sock pattern, and I just wanted to show this project bag. This is a set that came from Hank's Yarning Company. So it came with this project bag with the pumpkins, and then it came with the pumpkin spice sock set. So it's got this orange solid and then this variegated like orange and brown and yellow with the cream. So I am using this for the pattern A Little Hocus Pocus Socks by This Handmade Life. This is a free Ravelry pattern, and on her project photo she has the toe and the heel in like a solid color, so I thought this would be perfect for that. And it's as the name of the pattern would suggest, it's kind of like a fall Halloween-y themed pattern, I guess, even though like looking at it, it doesn't have any specific scary motifs, but I thought this would be just the perfect colors for that sock. Nathaniel. Now I'm going to take a moment, count up all the patterns I've showed you, and then I'm going to just do voiceover and pictures of some of the other patterns because I don't have the yarn for them yet. So far I have showed 28 different patterns. I have 5 more that I will show just the pattern picture and the yarn, because I don't have the yarn in my hot little hands yet. First is the Owls sweater by Kate Davies Designs. This is a paid pattern on Ravelry. It's also one that's been in my favorites for years and years and years, and I've just never made it. I am going to be using the Bad Sheep Yarns worsted weight yarn in the shade Owl, and the reason I don't have that to show you right now is because I am getting that yarn for Christmas, and it's obviously not Christmas yet, so I have not opened it, but that is the plan for that yarn. The last 4 patterns I'm going to show you, I have purchased yarn for, and it has shipped, but it has not arrived yet, and all of the yarn that I've purchased for these patterns I got off of the Eat Sleep Knit website. So the first yarn and pattern, the yarn is Lady Dye Yarns, and the colorway is I Burn For You, and I picked it for the Scatterby Socks pattern on Ravelry, and again I will have to insert designer names and things like that because I don't have it in front of me. Next I have the Pure Comfort cardigan pattern. Again, this is a free pattern, and for that I bought the Baracco Vintage DK in the shade Twilight for a nice mid-toned gray cardigan, and I think it's going to be very beautiful when I finish it. Then the next pattern is actually one that I'm going to make for Nathaniel. It is called the Moon Phases Sweater, and I bought Baracco Vintage DK for that as well in the color Blue Moon, and I believe it's sunny or sunshine. I will have to double check, but Nathaniel loves moons and space and stars, and I wanted to knit him something as well because I'm knitting Madeline a sweater, but I'm going to knit it. It's just I don't know if he will actually wear it because he has a tendency to chew his shirt collars and ruin them, and I don't want him to do that, but this pattern is so freaking cute, so we'll see what happens. And then the last pattern I'm going to show is for the Apis dorsata. I don't know if it's a cowl or a scarf. I haven't looked at it that closely. For that, I bought the Malabrigo yarn. I will have the exact yarn line on the screen because I don't remember, but it's in the color Oro, which I really love those deep kind of mustardy yellows, and it looks like kind of a bee motif on the scarf, so I thought that would pair perfectly. And then I lied before. I have one more pattern to show you, and that is the foliage hat. And for that, I bought the Malabrigo I believe it's worsted weight in the shade Archangel. The pattern is supposed to resemble fall leaves, fall foliage, and I thought that the colors in that yarn, I mean, they look like fall leaves. So those are, so what did I say? I had 28 and I showed 6 more. So I showed you 34 patterns. I may swap some of these out for different patterns because I have a gigantic list of favorites in my Ravelry page, and I reserve the right to change my mind on any of these at any time. But for now, I think it's a decent start at least. So I hope you enjoyed this super long video looking at all of my yarns and all of the patterns that I'm planning on making, and I hope you will consider joining us. So that is it for me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.